What up, Dokkaners? I seriously has dropped another bombshell on the global Dokkan community, and it has people confused and confounded. C'est ton pistolet qui fait un pompon, j'ai déjà fait mieux, c'est vrai. Why? Pan is coming up next on global. Why? So we need to talk about this because this throws a lot of things into question. Number one, what is Pan's banner going to look like? Will Ginyu come back sooner? Number two, where is Resurrection F going to go? And number three, why? So let's discuss and jump in. This was dropped about 8 hours ago. Apologies, I was very busy. I was out. So now that I'm back home, I'm going to talk about this with you guys. This is the Pan Dokkan Festival celebration. Now, looking at the celebration, there wasn't a whole lot going on for this, which is why this was the perfect precursor to the worldwide download for JP. Keep in mind, this released before the worldwide download for JP. And on this celebration, we had the banner, the Pan banner. This is why a lot of global players are looking forward to the Pan celebration, because the Ginyu 200% lead will be available to purchase with red coins. However, for those of you wondering, are we going to be getting this unit early? My answer is 90% no. They are not going to be bringing this unit early. The banner may be coming up early, but that doesn't necessarily mean the Ginyu has to, because I think they're going to be preserving at least their policy in terms of like units showing up as Dokkanfests and then their turnaround as far as red coins. So I think Ginyu is still going to be held off. He will be replaced by somebody else, and he will be showing up at a later date. That's the first thing. Number two, this is going to be a pretty easy skip for a lot of people because of the fact that the Pan is one of the hardest hitting units in the entire game, can get insanely strong. I've seen screenshots back when Pan released. Everyone was like, oh my god, best unit in the game. Active skill was dropping like 25 million damage, like all sorts of crazy numbers. But the thing about this unit is that it severely lacks defense. And well, I mean, it does have defense, damage reduction by 50% before attacking, but then after that, no defense. So that's not much of an issue, but still it is a bit of a problem. But then the main thing is synergy. This unit lacks the synergy, because if you look at the other units that you have to have on the attacking turn, you need to have Trunks, you need to have Goku GT if you want to accommodate this unit and fully embrace the various super attacks. You need to have one of them. There is no good Trunks GT. There is no good Giru. There is no good Goku. Actually, you know what? Trunks GT, there might be one. There's one. But even then, given how busted the endgame content is now, it's going to be very difficult to justify bringing these types of units on the main rotation. Trunks GT. Oh, you know what? Where is the Trunks GT and the Goten? Yeah, right here. So this would have been the only unit that would have maybe been okay, but still, it's not the most promising prospect to bring that unit on your main rotation. So in terms of value, having that synergy limitation, I think this unit does suffer a little bit. That's not to say the unit's not good. The unit is still fantastic, but I think that's going to be a good enough justification for people to take a skip on this banner. And I hope that you do, because having gone through back-to-back major celebrations, worldwide and 7-year, global players, you need a break. This is going to be a nice opportunity to take a breather, not only in terms of summons, but in terms of content. There's really not that much that happens here. There's an LR GT Trio EZA. We do have the Prime Battle TN. That can take up a lot of your time. Extreme Super Battle Road. And then we kind of move into the double rates Peppy Gal stuff, which we aren't really going to be doing now because this doesn't apply to global. Double race doesn't happen until Christmas time, so this would be held off for now. This would happen later on. If anything, we would get the Grandpa Gohan. But that then still calls into question, where the heck is that Kid Vegeta Super Strike? That hasn't come back. Speaking of, during this Ultimate Clash, I think they also had the Oob receive his EZA on JP. Let me actually see. Oob. Yeah, Oob got his EZA during this, which can't happen for global because we have to have Metacooler. So everything is now being thrown out of whack. Metacooler's EZA should be dropping next. Kid Vegeta Super Strike would be the next Super Strike, if anything. Oob would have to be shelved for a later time. Grandpa Gohan's Super Strike event will have to be moved for a different time. But yeah, other than that, there's really not much else that happens. So this will be a snooze fest. Looking at the scheduling, oh my gosh, this is what we were supposed to get. We were supposed to get Resurrection F, new Dokkan event, and actually, wait, this is not what I wanted to show you. I wanted to show you this. Yeah. So this is my schedule, my little template that I had. My timeline is getting completely screwed up. Oh, Resurrection F October until November, with part 2 being Golden Frieza. Thank you Celebration being into Vegeta Trunks, with part 2 not being Zamasu. This is of course how things played out last year, so this is all based on last year. So Zamasu was not going to be happening until the new year, which meant this would have been an empty slot for random, useless units. Dragon Ball Heroes would have then dropped in late November into December, which it still probably will happen. Winter pre-Christmas celebration, we still don't know what this one is going to be because this is the first JP Dokkanfest post worldwide download. So this is still to be determined, but this would be happening, or this would have happened early December into mid-December. Then starting the Christmas celebration, we would have started off with the Part 1 Rising Dragon Carnival banner. Carnival, yeah, I know. Carnival would have dropped that double rates banner during the Christmas time or pre-Christmas time, and then Christmas itself would have given us the Vegeta Trunks again, and then the 7-year LRs as featured SSRs. And then this is where Pan would have showed up. Pan would have been Part 1, Zamasu would have been Part 2. This is like last year when Super Vegeta was Part 1 and Janemba was Part 2. But now, if Pan is going to be moving here, then where do we move Resurrection F? Is it a simple shift everything down one slot, or do we swap Pan for Resurrection F? In my personal opinion, I feel like the best case scenario would be simply swapping the two, because out of all of these banners that are coming up, these are probably the two least favorable in terms of general, most people and how they are approaching their team building. I feel like Pan and the Resurrection F banners are going to be a little bit less appealing to some. Obviously, some of you do care. Some of you like the units. By all means, more power to you. No hate. But if we were to put the Pan here and we move Resurrection F over here, I think that would have the least impact on some of the units that we really want in terms of being shifted. Because Vegeta Trunks, I would hope, can still stay in this slot after a banner that we skip, or two, you could then jump in and summon for potentially one of the best units in the entire game here. But then, of course, that does call into question, where is Superhero going to be showing up? Dragon Ball Superhero is still a factor in this equation. All of this is under the assumption that Superhero either shows up as the pre-winter, I said printer, pre-winter Christmas celebration or pre-Christmas celebration. Maybe that could be where Superhero shows up, or maybe they want to do a joint celebration. They want the entire globe to celebrate that drop at the same time. It's possible. So we could be looking at an unprecedented extra simultaneous celebration sometime in the middle of all of this chaos. We have no way of knowing. And if you're wondering, why would Dokkan do this? This is so out of left field. This has actually happened before. If you guys recall, back in 2020, if you were around for that, the Majin Buu Saga Worldwide Download Celebration was the time that we had the introduction of the Ultimate Gohan as the final unit before the actual Worldwide started on JP. Back in July of 2020, this is when Gohan released. And soon after that, on Global, we received the same Ultimate Gohan. Less than 3 months later, we received one of the best TURs in the game. So this was actually this was nice because the unit came back sooner, but at the same time, after all the fatigue from the 7-year or from the yearly anniversary and the worldwide, having to jump straight into this, it was a bit unfortunate for global players. But yeah, that was how quickly things turned around back then. And if you're wondering if that was a different time, it really wasn't, because we also had the first year of the Divine Dragon Carnival banner. This double rates banner released simultaneously on both global and JP, and this is where I infamously summoned live with Goresh and Truth. We'll never do that again, and they both got some really good luck, and I got royally shafted on that banner. But anyway, that's besides the point. Point is, it's happened before. That's why it could happen again. Where things are going to land, nobody really knows. I feel like out of all of the Dokkanfests that could afford to have a breakup, Resurrection F could be that one, because Golden Frieza, regardless of whether or not it corresponds to the part 2 for Resurrection F, can stand on its own. Unit is insanely powerful. It's a Wicked Bloodline all-star, and given the fact that Worldwide just released some insanely good Wicked Bloodline units, this unit has only increased in value. So if you were to summon, you could summon strictly for that fact. You wouldn't even have to summon for, oh, Resurrection F isn't here, I'm not going to summon for Golden Frieza. You still could. So I think that's how this is going to shape up. I think Fusion Zamasu could maybe see a schedule change as well. Maybe Fusion Zamasu moves up. Maybe Golden Frieza shifts back. Who knows? I have no idea, but I wanted to give you my thoughts on this and let you guys know that Dokkan is so unpredictable. Even for things as obvious as this, you can never be too sure. Even though we received the data download assets for Resurrection F for the last 2 data downloads, we are still being thrown a massive wrench into the works. But regardless, global players, if you are stuck, if you don't have enough stones, don't worry, I will help you through this tough time, and I will help you navigate through this chaotic time with all of these banners coming up. Even if it's Pan, you can skip. Ginyu, unfortunately, might be a big casualty, but whenever Ginyu does show up, that will be the time to buy the unit. Anyway, let's pray that things don't get even more insane, shall we? Guys, thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, be sure to leave a like down below. Let me know in the comments, what is your reaction to this news? What do you think about Pan showing up early? Were you excited for this Dokkan Fest? Are you going to be summoning? Are you going to be skipping? What do you think this means for the rest of the schedule moving forward? Do you think we're going to see another major shift? Do you think Vegeta Trunks is going to be pushed back? Do you think this means Superhero could be dropping early? What do you think is going to be happening for the rest of the year? Let me know in the comments down below. And if you had to pick one banner, which banner would you want to summon on? Also, be sure to subscribe for more Dokkan content in the future and click the notification bell so that you'll let YouTube know I want to see more of my stuff. Do it. Thanks again. Stay tuned and remember to Dokkan responsibly.